Hi, I'm Brad with Fencer Cranes. In this video we're focusing on load chain inspections for chain hoists or even just your regular lifting chain. Chains are simple, but they're also one of the most critical load-bearing components on your crane. A chain in poor condition is a serious hazard. So unlike wire rope, chain damage is often visible if you know what to look for. But if ignored, it can fail suddenly. That's why CSA B167 ASME B30.16 require that load chains be inspected both frequently and periodically. Frequent inspections are done by operators or in-house staff before use. Periodic inspections are done by a competent person, often quarterly or annually, depending on the usage. So before each shift or use, look at the chain end, from end to end. Here's a daily check sheet. Lubrication. Chain should be lightly lubricated. A dry or rusty chain wears quickly, right? Twists or kinking. Chain should move freely through the whole hoist and sprocket, right? So when you're going up, going down, it should roll easy and freely, no clicking, no jumping. Look for nicks, gouges, or weld splatter. These create stress rises and reduce capacity, and weld splatter can also damage the pocket wheel of your chain hoists. Or even your chain blocks or lever blocks, right? Discoloration, bluing or black marks can indicate heat damage from welding or overloading. Chain seating, make sure the chain seats properly in the hoist sprocket. Jumping or skipping links are red flags. And tags, right? The hoist must have a legible identification plate showing rated capacity. If there's no tag, don't use it, right? Your bottom block needs its capacity. The bottom block capacity must match with the capacity markings from the OEM on the hoist. I've seen that many times where bottom block gets changed out and a 5-ton block is put on the bottom, but it's a 2.5-ton capacity hoist, right? The operator doesn't know. The capacity markings must match. The hoist identification tag must have a serial number, the manufacturer's name, the model number, right? All these things are requirements. So CSA B167 requires periodic inspection of load chains by a competent person. This means measure chain elongation. Any link that has stretched more than 5% beyond original pitch must be removed from service. Use a caliper or gauge to measure several links together. Check link wear. If link diameter has been reduced by 10% or more, the chain must be replaced. Check for corrosion or pitting. Rust weakens the link cross section, right? It's easy. Use a caliper or a gauge to measure several links together, right? And measure diameter. If you go to the very end of your chain on a chain hoist, that's never used, right? You will have a dead end, then a piece of chain. Measure your chain link there. The rest of your links should correspond to that one's measurement, right? If it is worn through, for example, if it's a rigging chain, then consult the manufacturer specifications, right? It'll be available. So check hoist sprocket condition. Worn sprockets cause the chain to climb, jam, or wear unevenly. End connections. Check hooks, connection links, and anchor points for distortion or cracks. All defects must be documented, and defective chains tagged and removed from service, right? So most chain damage we see comes from lack of lubrication. Running a dry chain through a hoist accelerates wear, right? The chain moves on itself the whole time, right? So your chain moves on itself. If it's dry, it's steel on steel. So your chain running through your hoist over your sprocket wheel, it needs lubrication, right? You get dry spray lubes, and there's all sorts of different lubes on the market that you can use to keep the chain lubricated, right? This will extend the life of the chain and also prevent unnecessary wear of your pocket wheels sitting inside your chain hoist, right? Overloading causes stretch, peening, or discoloration from overheating. Cross-loading, which is just side pulling, right? It causes kinks or bent links, much the same as a wire rope hoist, right? If you side pulling, you damage your rope guard. You can sometimes damage your rope, right? More than likely you're damaging something by side pulling. Don't side pull. Cranes are designed for vertical lifting, not side pulling, right? We actually install devices to prevent side pulling because some facilities have such a problem that the costs of incorrect use of the equipment is significant, right? use the equipment the way it's designed to be used. Crane's not designed to pull sideways. It's a vertical lifting piece of equipment, right? Poor storage, chains left outside rust quickly and become unsafe. So training operators to avoid these practices extends the life of the chain and keeps people safe. Here's a quick video clip for you to see a chain that we inspected in bad condition. Right, so this is a hoist that was still in service at one of our customers. We just pulled it down. Let me show you. Look at the chain bag, right? Homemade. These are no-nos, right? This isn't manufacturer supplied equipment. I mean, it's a good idea, but you can't use that, right? With the holes in the bag, they're not made for it. But here's why we pulled it down. Look at this chain. Look at the wear, right? This is a hoist that was still in use by the customer. They weren't even aware of the condition of their chain, right? Look at that. Look at that. You see how badly worn those are. This is a chain that's just waiting to snap, right? It's extremely dangerous. Look at the gouges and the kinks in this chain. It's even worn into the groove of the chain, right? These are the things you've got to look for when you're inspecting a chain, is how bad it is. And look at the rest of the chain. If you didn't inspect the whole chain, you wouldn't even know there was anything wrong, right? Because you wouldn't find it. But as you go through the whole chain, right, then you start finding it. Look, that's bad, right? Look how badly that's worn. Look at the groove in the chain, right? So when you inspect the chain, inspect the entire chain, every link. Don't skip a link thinking, oh, well, I checked 10, the rest of the chain is good. Even with wire ropes, I know technicians in the years who used to do that, right? Just check a section, oh, it must be good. Well, guess what? That whole section, from there all the way down, this whole 12 foot is good. The problem's in the last little bit, right? The last little bit of the hoist, that's where the problem is. So keep an eye out for that. So this is a good point to show some real chains here again. You just saw one of a really bad chain caught on an inspection, right? Here's a normal chain. This is just a chain sling, but the chain's a chain, right? There's a normal chain. Your links are even. There's no wear, right? You see the surface rust that starts to form on a chain that's left hanging unlubricated, right? In this one's case, the chain was lubricated, so I can just wipe it off. But what happens if they left? It'll start to pit, right? The rust will eat away, just like your vehicle. When your vehicle starts getting rust on it, eventually the rust eats a hole in it, right? Exactly the same for a chain. Let's look at some key takeaways here. So inspect chains daily for visible damage, lubrication, and free movement. Have a competent person measure for stretch and wear periodically, right? Remove from service if any links show 5% elongation, 10% wear, cracks, nicks, or heat damage. So if you measure the diameter here and you're measuring 10 millimeter, if you measure on the other side and you 10% under the 10, chain needs to be thrown away, right? If the link is stretched, right, if it's elongated by more than 5% of measuring a link that's normal, the chain needs to be thrown away, right? So never run a chain hoist without proper lubrication. Chains are durable, but they're not indestructible. Inspection is the only way to ensure safe lifting. So here at Venter Cranes, we provide inspection, training, and OEM replacement of load chains for Kitto, DMAG, R&M, and all major hoist brands. All our training and information videos are available on our YouTube channel at Venter Cranes. So follow us for more safety and maintenance insights, and thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.